After yesterday's primary election here in Indiana, November's ballot is set for the most highly anticipated races across the state.
So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can see all the results scrolling there for you and at WTHR.com. But let's get to Samantha Johnson in our newsroom this morning, breaking down one of the biggest races of the year. Good morning, Sam.
That's right. Good morning to you. We're talking about the race for Indiana's next governor. And like you mentioned, the ballot is now set for the general election coming up in November. So take a look at your screen. We're going to put this up on your screen for you. We're talking about this coming November, Democrat Jennifer McCormick, Republican Mike Braun, and Libertarian Donald Rainwater. Now, filling that Republican candidate spot for the general election in November was a big conversation this year. We know we had more than 6 candidates in all, and taking a look at some of the results we have this morning. You'll notice 2 purple counties down here. These went to Suzanne Crouch. Of course, Vanderburgh County, home of Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch. The other mention that's important to note this morning is Marion County in green. Brad Chambers won Marion County, but just barely. Take a look at some of these numbers. Chambers beating Braun by less than 130 votes. So at the end of the day, you can see the map here. It was all Mike Braun. Here's what he shared last night.
I intend to be the most entrepreneurial governor our state has ever had. I can guarantee you I'm going to be the most accessible governor the state has ever had.
Now taking on Braun from the Democratic Party, McCormick was the only candidate on the ballot this primary, but she knows it'll take work to win in November. And that's because the state hasn't elected a Democratic governor in more than 20 years.
We are doing a lot of listening. We're having town halls. We're inviting everyone. We're opening those tents to big tents and making sure that everybody feels welcome.
So much more to come, and we've got more information online for you at WTHR.com. We're breaking down more races throughout the morning here on Sunrise. Julia and Julia, of course, that includes the race for president.
Yeah, there were a lot of races to watch for. Thank you, Samantha. We'll check in with you soon.
And some interesting results in the presidential primary election this morning. It's been more than 2 months since Nikki Haley ended her bid to challenge former President Donald Trump.
However, Haley still pulled in more than 1/5 of the accounted votes yesterday. So let's take a look. Former President Trump got 78% with more than 460,000 votes, and Haley, on the other hand, got 22% and more than 120,000 votes.
Now, during our election coverage last night, 13 News did talk with a political expert about the former president's influence on down the ballot races this November.
It's hard to overstate how much influence he has because he is such a larger-than-life character. We know he has a ton of support in this state. In 2020, he won by 15 percentage points. He won very handily this time around. I can imagine that a lot of Republicans who prevailed tonight are going to continue to align themselves with him and his positions.
Now, in some states, both candidates would walk away with delegates. However, in Indiana, the winner takes all. So former President Trump will get 58 delegates.
Well, last night, voters also turned out for Pike Township schools, and $15 million operating referendum for the district did pass. 59 to 41%. This money will go towards staff recruitment and professional development, plus some school safety and security projects.
Well, so how many voters did turn out to the polls last night? Well, we'll take a look at the numbers here, specifically out of Marion County. Right now, these are preliminary numbers, but it does give us some insight into voter turnout. Just over 13% of eligible voters cast ballots. Right now, there's over 632,000 registered voters in Indiana, so that would be about 85,000 that participated in yesterday's primary. Republicans polled just over 46,000 ballots, while Democratic ballots cast polled just under 39,000.
You can find our full coverage of the primary election, including all of the results. They're posted on WTHR.com/elections.